Today we are in the kitchen making a white bean and ham hearty soup. Perfect for those cold winter days. So if you're interested in the recipe, stay tuned. Okay, so we're back in the kitchen, and these are all the ingredients that you'll need to make this wonderful hearty soup. Okay, first you're going to need some white beans, of course. I'm using Great Northern beans, which came in this package here. You can use whatever white bean that you like. We'll also need 3/4 of a large onion, 4 ribs of celery, 6 carrots chopped, about 5 to 6 cloves of garlic, some thyme, your favorite chicken broth, and 2 big ham hocks. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so into our crock pot we are going to put our ham hocks, and this is a super big hock. There's one, and here is the other. I'm just going to sit those in there. And then next we'll just add all of our ingredients. This is a really super simple recipe, you guys. Can't get any simpler than this. We're going to add all of our beans in there, and all I did was wash the beans off. That's why they're in that colander. Just wash them off and had them just draining. So next we will add our carrots, and that's 6 carrots chopped. Next we'll add our onion, our 6 ribs of celery, which were chopped up as well, the garlic, go ahead and add our thyme in, and I'm adding about this much thyme. Okay, and lastly we will add in our chicken broth, and this is about 1 quart or so of chicken broth. Is about 4 cups altogether, and we'll just pour that in there. Let me get a spoon so I can mix it up. Go ahead and mix up all those yummy ingredients. Okay. Then we're going to put the lid on and put that on low for 5 hours. And that's pretty much it, you guys. We're going to come back and do the other 2 steps in about 5 hours. So we'll see you then. Okay, so you're probably wondering, where did you find this recipe, right? Well, I have these old Rachel Ray magazines, like Everyday Rachel Ray, I think it's called. And in those magazines, she has these little mini weekly planner magazines where she lays out meals for each day of the week. And this is an example of one of them, which is where I found this ham and bean soup recipe. Excuse me, ham and bean. So, you know, Rachel Ray, she's on Food Network, as we all know. Her magazine is really excellent. I stopped the subscription a while ago, but, never really got into it when I had the subscription. So anyway, it's a really good magazine. I'm thinking about getting it again just for some other recipes. But anyway, I'm always looking for new, tasty, really easy, especially crock pot recipes in the wintertime. Is nothing better than just like a set it and forget it meal. And this is one of those really easy ones where you don't have that many ingredients, and you basically put it in the crock pot, forget it for a few hours, and then you have a really hearty soup. So I'm really looking forward to how this is going to turn out. I know anything Food Network, or most things Food Network, tend to turn out really awesome. At least they have when I've made them. I just wanted to let you guys know where I got the recipe from, okay? See you in a little bit. Okay, so we are back. It's been about five hours, and we are going to open up the crock pot and see what it looks like. See if the beans have softened to where we need them to be, and see if we're ready to go ahead and take the hocks out and cut the meat off. So let's go ahead and check. Excuse my way of opening this, you guys. My top of my crock pot broke. I'll need to get a new one. So excuse that. It definitely smells wonderful. I don't know if you can hear it sizzling. I'm just going to take my fork and see how tender the carrots are. And they are quite tender. Fork goes right through. Let's see the beans. I think this could use maybe an hour more. This was on the low setting. And at this point, I'm tempted to turn it up to high just for an hour, just to get it cooking a little faster. So I think that's what we'll do. Okay. Let's turn this up to high. And put our lid back on. Okay, and we'll be back in an hour. Okay, so we are back. It's been about an hour later. So it's a total of 6 hours now that our soup has been cooking. And we are going to go ahead and open up the lid now and see what our beans look like and see if we are actually ready to go ahead and pull apart that meat on that hock. So let's go ahead and open. Again, pardon the way I have to open this. The handle on the top of this is broken. So, and this smells absolutely amazing, you guys. It's smelling up the whole house. And I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can bring the camera up just a little bit. Look how yummy that looks. Now let's take our fork and do our test on our carrots. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then let's test the bean. Yeah, that bean is pretty tender. And so are those. So I think we're going to go ahead and take these hocks out and go ahead and start pulling the meat off the bones and then putting the meat back into the crock pot. Okay, so we'll be back in just a few minutes after we do that. Okay, so as you can see, I've just taken out the hocks out of the crock pot. They're piping hot. As you can see, the steam rising up off of them. I have also gone ahead and taken out the thyme sprigs here because we don't want those sticks in our soup once we're trying to ladle out our soup out. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and just start taking the meat off of here. Of course, I don't want any of this fat. So I'm going to just kind of chop that off and expose the meat of the hock. So that is what we are going for. And all of this, you guys, see all that meaty goodness here? All that is good meat. And it's just falling off the bone, as you can see. It's been simmering in all those juices and in the broth, along with the beans, for all those hours. It's just falling off. Okay, this is another part of the skin on the other side. Some really good chunks of meat on these hocks here. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll be back after it's all chopped up off the bone. Okay, so as you can see, I'm done chopping up the hocks. There's nothing left on it's just bones left and the skin. And as you can see, I've chopped them up, but I've left some kind of chunks here, like some bigger chunks. Some are smaller. That'll just be nice, just add nice texture to the soup. So, you know, it's always nice to get a big chunk of meat in your soup when you're, you know, spooning up a sip of your soup. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and add this meat back into our crock pot along with the beans and everything else, and let that simmer down for just probably about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm also going to add in another ingredient that is not part of this recipe, but I've been kind of thinking about it throughout the time that this has been cooking, and I think I'm going to go ahead and add some spinach into this because there's not really any green in there, and I like spinach in my soup. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so while I was chopping up the hocks, I actually put the lid back on the top of the crock pot and turned it down to low, so that we can get the temperature down just a little bit. So now we're going to go ahead and add the meat. Tell you, this is going to be really, really good. The way the hocks cooked down all that time. They were already smoked. And I think the hocks is going to be key to this meal. I mean, if you really like a meaty soup, of course you'll want to find a hock that has a lot of meat on it. These were pretty meaty hocks here. But I think that will definitely determine how much meat you're going to have in your soup. Just keep an eye out for that. So yeah, this is looking really, really good, you guys. Let me go ahead and add in this spinach. This is about a cup of frozen spinach. Like I said, I probably should have defrosted this, but I just thought of it on the spur of the moment. So it should, you know, melt pretty fast. This is still really, really hot. So I'm just going to give that a good stir. See if I can bring you a little closer. See how that's looking. See all those chunks? Look at that chunk right there. This is going to be some really good soup. Alright, so I'm going to put the cover back on and leave this to simmer for about 10 minutes just to get that spinach unfrozen, you know, thawed out. And we'll go ahead and plate it up. So we'll be back. Okay, so it's been a good 10 minutes. And our spinach is definitely melted, well not melted, but thawed into the soup. And we're going to go ahead and plate this up and give it a taste, okay? So I have my bowl here. And I'm just going to go ahead and scoop some of this up. Let's get some of that broth. Looks really yummy. This is what we have, you guys. Of course, you want to salt and pepper this to your taste. I'm going to go ahead and taste this first because this is pork, and pork tends to be salty anyway. So let me go ahead and taste this first, okay? So we're going to go ahead and taste now. This is really delicious, you guys. The smokiness of the hock in the soup makes it taste awesome. And then it gives the beans a lot of flavor. What else did I taste in here? Of course, the chicken broth, and the thyme and the celery. So this makes a wonderful, wonderful soup. This combination of veggies and beans makes a wonderfully hearty soup. I'm sure the kids will love it. I know Big Smash is going to love it. And I'm sure your family will love it too. So if you like this recipe, give me a thumbs up. And for more recipes like this, like easy recipes off on-the-go moms, and just like simple crock pot recipes, just, you know, fun and hearty recipes, something that I think that I might try, stay tuned to my channel. And for more Rachel Ray recipes, I guess tune into rachelray.com/everyday. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for tuning into my channel and hanging out with me and making this really tasty, tasty soup. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Much love. Peace.